So they'll be calling your eye. This is breaking by the Wall Street Journal that Noam Chomsky got a big fat check from Epstein. Now stay with me. As you know, I've been on this for years and years and years. Is Epstein's ranch at Los Alamos or a coincidence? Nuclearism a coincidence? So as you know, Noam Chomsky, I know personally, he made statements on Fukushima. As you know, I call them the book writers. You know, all these activists that don't win. Now, stay with me. I'm with Noam Chomsky in February of 2015. The Helen Caldecott symposium on anti-nuclearism, the false equivalency. Japanese are tidy people. They fixed it. So the year before Helen had her symposium, she had a lot of great Dr. Abrams from Stanford. I mean, Stanford's turned out so corrupt. Oh my God. Elizabeth Holmes, Bankman Fried, the Peru First Lady who's hiding. So Stanford. So no made statements about Fukushima early. And so I asked Helen Caldecott very respectfully, very nice, Helen, how come I can't talk about, so Mally, who's her, publicist who puts everything together, Helen was late to the second day, so Mally put me up, my question on Fukushima, blah, 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 blah. So, Dr. Perry was there, all these, the right players. So I asked Noam right to his face, I asked Helen very respectfully, Helen, I'm a butcher, what's a cow, I'm bigger. What do you mean this is anti-nuclear and we can't talk about Fukushima? Why? No, that's not what this is about, Kevin. I said, what do you mean? I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm a big. And then so I asked Noam right to his face, Noam. And he had this young woman, probably in her 40s, with him. I assumed it was his daughter. I don't know. I asked him, Noam, you made a statement about Fukushima. You said the cover-up was disgraceful. How come you won't say one word about it? And how come we're not speaking on it there? He kind of just mumbles with his, remember he's MIT. Remember the MIT Media Lab, Aaron Swartz down. I mean, I'm telling you, is it all Fukushima coincidence? Was he paid to, he was a major influencer. He ended up on RT. Remember what I used to say when all those guys ended up on RT? I started the Million Mass March. I invented it. And I used to tell John Anthony and I, we're the ones that invented it. We had a giant RT, and I'm like, John's like, how come they don't ever kill the guy that started? And I'm like, because they know I'm an anti-imperialist. So Chomsky claimed to be an anti-imperialist, anti-this, anti-that, Was he really? Was he paid to shut up on Fukushima? You look at the timing. Bill Gates met right after Fukushima. This is a convicted sex offender, Epstein, which I was going after the Epstein with my activism career in New York in the 90s. Is it a coincidence in Los Alamos? Is it a coincidence all these people point to, Los Alamos? Bezos was born there. Is this, they don't illuminate, they radiate. I've said it for years. Is it a coincidence? Well, I've been calling this out long before the Wall Street Journal reported it. Who's controlling these people? Helen backed off on Fukushima big time. Why? Busby called it a freaking, Busby said the Pacific Ocean is a big place. Gundership used to fight with me for years. I finally had to block him off my site, saying there were nothing but hydrogen for the last few years. Busby said the Pacific Ocean is a big place to loot. So all this cover-up, who was running it? MIT Media Endowment? Well, why would it be the president of Japan come for the Japanese PM to Harvard and then go to MIT Media? Why? Who's running the show? MIT? Freaking Stanford? Stanford needs to be, that place is the most corrupt institution in the world. By the way, we want our golden spike, Stanford. Semi-Am, Elizabeth Holmes, Christian Holmes, the fourth daughter. Yeah, what? She's not in prison? Got to go talk to Henry before I go to Fukushima, Hillary. So is this all coincidence? Now remember, there's pictures. Play back the tape. I'm there. I'm with Noam. I'm asking Noam, how come? And then all the people that were our crowd, free radicals that were supposed to, remember all that huge crowd? That was gathered around Kevin Blanch, the artists, the poets, and we were fighting. How come they all quit? Like that. A lot of it traces to Oak Ridge tenant. What? Is it all coincidence? So is this payment tied to Fukushima? Look, the greatest ecological catastrophe, full-blown out meltdowns, and nobody talks about it. These major influencers, is that just coincidence, Blanche? Bill Gates, who's pro-nuclear? met with Epstein not long after Fukushima, you know, even Katie Couric. I mean, I was with NOAM right when he met with, did he meet in February of 2015, March 2015 he was in? I don't know, but it's been reported 2015 by the Wall Street Journal that he got a big fat check. And these influencers and academia, I got blackballed from the university. You know, you think it's coincidence scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're stumped, they're perplexed, they're curious, and everybody has stood down on Fukushima, the greatest PhD opportunity in human history, and I'm the only one that took it. I mean, the greatest PhD in human history, and look what they've done to me. I mean, open heart surgery twice, AML, leukemia, I go in it. I mean, you can't make this story up. So, is it a coincidence? Does this all tie to Fukushima? You know what I say. Aaron Swartz, I knew Aaron Swartz personally, downloads the server at MIT, Chomsky, MIT. You know, I had 2 PhDs from, remember when I lost my phone in the San Francisco airport and they found it, luckily, my iPad. Or was it my phone? I can't remember. And anyway, I was in Pacific Grove, Taipei, and they called me and brought it. They were both PhDs in the MIT nuclear, and they were told to stand down, both of them. They had to switch their PhDs. You know, they hand out PhDs like toilet paper, and then you just go to work for top secret, you can't disclose. I mean, the nuclear. Is this coincidence? As I've said for years, this club, this group, as people call them, Illuminati, they don't illuminate. Oh, they radiate. Nuclearism is their greatest tool, and one word in the activist community, Fukushima is the litmus test. It's the greatest event in human history, and if you go out there, the nuclear industry, which is one word, Fukushima, the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history, you're going right at the heart of the beast. I know that. So it takes big shoulders and strength. So I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I fear no evil. You can chalk it all up to coincidence. That typos at your feet. Oh, it's a cult. They don't illuminate. They radiate. Is it a coincidence? You tell me. You tell me. I asked Noam to his face, how come you won't talk about Fukushima anymore? And he, well, you know, Fukushima, go up, disgrace, whatever. I sat with him for 2 days at the Holocaust symposium. I'm Butcher, what's a cow? I'm Baker, what's a cake? Anti-nuclear energy. Well, she sure went off at about the year before. Dr. Abrams says there was, in his caged tuna at Stanford, there was cesium-137 in him. He said that at the symposium in 2013, 14. And then they don't talk about it one iota after they met with Epstein? Is Epstein the gatekeeper? Well, obviously. Stay tuned.